Dialed in here, come one, come all. Just turned off my camera for a moment. Coming right back, hang on. Here we go. What's up, TikTok? All right. Here we go, camera back on. What's up? Okay, just getting everything dialed in here. Right. Woo! Right on. Now we're in business. Here we go. How y'all doing today? You fired up? I hope you're amped to be here. I'm amped to share some things with you that are front of mind or on my heart, and they've been inspired by a recent coaching session that I had with one of my clients. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. It's a little better. All right. So I'm pumped because today we're going to be diving in to discussing how you can begin to build your list of clues so you can figure out like what is your unfair advantage that comes partly due to your ADHD brain. So I was on a call with one of my coaching clients just this week, and like many people who I end up working with, like myself, when I found my first coach, my confidence was just completely decimated. Like my confidence hardly existed any longer. And I was thinking a lot of negative thoughts about myself. I wasn't in a place to move towards the future that I wanted because there was so much negativity happening in my mind and just in my life. So this is really crucial because you can't start to improve. You can't start to do things different and be inspired to start a new routine and a new habit or a new behavior or, start that new hobby when you feel like crap, when you're beating yourself up. So this is a really important first step, depending on where you are in your journey, is identifying, okay, like what are the things that make me unique, special, extraordinary, rare? What makes you a different breed than most other people? And this requires reflecting and revisiting probably things that people have said to you throughout your life. And people often will tell us things, just no matter who you are, right? They'll say, man, like you're so amazing at this, or wow, you were really incredible. How'd you do that? And most of us don't take that in. We're really good at just writing it off or discrediting it and being like, oh, come on, man. Like, you don't mean that. How many times, right? Oh, you don't mean that, right? Or we hear other people say that, right? We're not taking it in. We're not being kind enough to ourselves to slow down and go, wait, maybe this person really means what they're saying, and I should actually listen. So here's what you want to do. Like, let's workshop this. So get a piece of paper or open up your app that you're going to take some notes on. Like, let's do this together. Okay, so to start this process, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think back, right? Recent, right? Think back over the last just 3 to 6 months. In the last 3 to 6 months, was there something that someone said to you, right? Did someone say something to you like, man, like you're so good at coming up with these ideas. Like, where do you think of this stuff? Or like, oh my gosh, like how do you have this energy? Or like, how are you excited about these things all the time? Or man, I don't understand. How are you able to ask people those questions that like really get to the meat of what you're trying to find out? But like, I'm not bold enough. I'm not courageous enough. Like, what is it? What is it for you that people have tried to remind you or show you or make you notice that, hey, you're really good at X, right? Or maybe they just were shocked. They're like, hey, have you always been able to do that? Like, how are you able to think on your feet like that? How are you able to just like experience that disappointment and then move on so quickly? Whatever it is. So as you're trying to think of these things, right? I'll give you an example. I've been going to Los Angeles pretty much every month this past year, and I'm a part of Brendan Burchard's Ultra group. It's like a private success group. So for folks who they're striving, they're building businesses, or they want to get a promotion, or they want to improve their marriage or their family, and like they're trying to level up in some way, right? Like they believe that, like all these people in this group believe that it's possible to be more, have more, do more, serve more, like create a bigger impact and build a more meaningful life. So every time I'm down at this event, I'm just being myself, but being myself is this energy that you're feeling and experiencing. This is me all the time. And it's even more amplified. Like I get energized by people because I happen to just be a 1000% extrovert. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy time reading a book and that sort of thing, slowing down, but I get my energy from people. So when I'm at these events, people often are telling me, man, dude, you bring so much amazing energy. Like every time I'm around you, I just get a lift. Like I'm automatically more optimistic. I'm automatically feeling more joyful. Like, man, you really light up a room. Like, man, when you're here, like the energy is palpably better. Like it's different. It's different when you're around. Now that's not new information for me. That's something that I've been told often throughout my life over the last 15 plus years, but it wasn't something I always took in. It wasn't something that I actually would hear and really honor and like feel grateful that was a part of, my essence. That was a part of what made me different. And that was a part of me that was really serving and helping other people. So what is it for you, right? What's something that someone has mentioned to you that you brushed off, right? You shrugged it off. You're like, oh man, come on. Like, what are you talking about? That's just who I am. If there's something that you're doing and other people are recognizing it, they're recognizing it because it's not normal. They're telling you because it stands out. So understand that is a golden opportunity to capture that. That's what I'm asking you to do right now. Capture that thing. What is it? What is it for you? Put it in the comments, right? What's that thing that someone has told you that you're remembering right now and going, yeah, that's true. Like people have told me in the last 6 months that I'm really good at this, and write it down. Okay. For example, the client I was working with this past week, one of the things that they were sharing with me, so like, you wouldn't believe, man, Ross, when I'm doing anything, I always try to find the most efficient way to solve it. So my client was sharing, he's going, man, like if I'm mowing the lawn, like I'm doing housework, no matter what it is, I'm going to find the most efficient way to do it. Like I'm going to figure out, how can I optimize this? How can I accomplish this task or this goal and have it take less time? Have it require less effort, right? And still get the same outcome. So that was one of the things that he wrote down. So what's it for you? Okay, now I want you to go back further. Okay. Go back to a time where you tried something new. You really pushed yourself. You did something that you never thought you could do, right? Like you had never done anything quite like it before. So as you're getting these ideas in your head, for example, for me, back when I found my first ADHD coach back in 2016 and started working with that coach for a year, but within 6 months had surprised everybody, surprised my boss, surprised my team. Like people were like, whoa, like I never anticipated that you would actually like be able to have such a drastic transformation. So someone in my life said, hey Ross, have you ever thought about speaking on ADHD? was like, what? No, not really. Why? Well, I mean, I think you have a really inspiring story. I mean, what you've done so far and the way that you've really leaned into, getting support and understanding your ADHD brain, and you're in a lot better place now. And obviously you're still on the journey, but so many people really it would help them hearing from you and you sharing with them and talking about some of the things that really made the difference. So basically, I ended up applying to speak at this mental health conference up in San Francisco. It was called EdRev, and essentially submitted like a topic, an idea. My talk was ADHD is a superpower, believe it and change our world. That was just my idea. I hadn't created the talk or anything. So I end up creating the talk. It takes me so much time to do the research, right? I really hyper-focused here. Did the research. Like, I had not made some full-fledged presentation with, Keynote and PowerPoint in a long time, in quite a few years since college. So here I am kind of refreshing myself. It's all changed. And, okay, I want to add media and pictures and video. And how do I do that? I'm learning as I go. I'm building the plane as I fly it. But what happens afterwards is I get a lot of people telling me things that I didn't ever expect to hear. I mean, people were in tears afterwards. I had teachers, full-grown women, towards like the end, they're in like their 50s or 60s, and their teachers, a junior high teacher, I remember, came up to me and she's in tears. And she's like, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have a little girl in my class, seventh or eighth grader. She has ADHD. And before coming and listening to your presentation today, I had totally written her off. I was so frustrated with her. I had lost all my patience and I was done. And the principal and I were about to have a conversation with her parents. And we were about to sit down with them and say, hey, this isn't working. Your daughter is going to need to find another school because this isn't the right fit. Now, if you're a parent, that is a worst nightmare scenario. And this teacher is she's crying, telling me this. She says, I just want you to know that I don't know what I'm going to do for her. I don't know I have no idea what exactly is going to change, but I know this. I am not going to give up on her. I'm not going to give up on her. I'm not going to let her go. I'm not going to stop trying. I'm not going to stop leaning in. Like, I now have more compassion and empathy for what she's going through than I ever had before. Thanks to coming today and hearing from you and learning. That was huge. It's like that experience helped me understand that my story and my willingness and ability to share my story, to share the lows, the highs, the in-betweens in a vulnerable way, with my passion, with my excitement, with my energy, it moved people. That was really big, right? That went on my list of clues. Okay, this is a clue. This is something that I'm learning, like I'm getting some evidence that this is an area where I do really amazing work. Like I'm different in this way. I stand out and it helps people. And that feels really good. So what is it for you, right? What's something? I know you were thinking, hopefully you got something in your mind, right? An event where you pushed yourself past your comfort zone. You did something for the first time you never thought you could do. And like it went better than you thought, right? Like there was a decent outcome and people said things to you that made you recognize, whoa, wow, this is a part of my secret sauce. Like this is something maybe I should lean into. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go even further back. I want you to go even further back to like your late teens, like early 20s, and that sort of thing. Like maybe your mid 20s. So go back to kind of that time period. Like maybe you're in college, maybe you're in high school or wrapping up high school. Maybe you're not in college and, you're traveling and you're just kind of like, right? Like getting out there and being an adult and figuring out what that's about. Okay, so now in that season, think about something that someone said to you, right? Something someone said to you that was kind, that they went out of their way to make sure that you understood that they noticed something about you. So as you're thinking about that, I'll tell you another story. So when I was in high school, I'll never forget this. This blew my mind as a senior in high school. I was actually on vacation with my family, and while I was on vacation with my family, they were voting on who's going to be on homecoming court, right? And of course, I wanted to be cool. I was working hard to wanted to fit in, wanted everyone to like me. Of course, I was like, man, it'd be so rad to be on homecoming court. Man, that would be so, so cool. But I didn't really think that was going to be a thing. Well, I end up hearing while I'm on vacation, someone messages me and goes, hey, you were voted as homecoming MC. You're going to be on homecoming court as the homecoming MC. I was like, what? Like, I was shocked. I was like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? And as I'm taking this in, like, obviously, when all you care about is the vanity of all I was caring about that time in my life was like, how popular am I and how many people like me? That was a huge boost. But here's the takeaway is that moment helped me recognize something. Because I got back to school and I was asking people like, why? This is awesome, but I'm surprised. Like, why do people vote for me? And what I heard over and over is people say, Ross, you're funny. Like, people know you're going to be a great MC because you're funny, man. Like, you're fun. You're funny. You're hilarious. I was like, what? Like, I didn't see myself that way. I didn't think I was funny. I thought people were laughing at me, not with me. Like, I would take people's laughter and I would laugh with them, but like, I didn't think I was funny. I just thought, oh man, like they're laughing at my expense and I'm just going to go with it because they're laughing. I didn't view myself in that positive light. And I found out that this other person, I believe it was Jared Carter. Jared Carter was like the runner-up. Like he almost, got voted homecoming MC. And I viewed Jared Carter as absolutely hilarious. Like this guy was like, Jared is one of the funniest people on the planet. And people were putting me in the league with this guy. So that was the first time I started like connecting the dots and recognizing, oh, I think I'm funny. Like, I think I'm like, yeah, I'm goofy. I'm an oddball. I'm weird. I say things people don't expect impulsively, often probably due to my ADHD brain. And I'm all over the place. And it's exciting and it's interesting. You never know. You never quite know what you're going to get when you're hanging out with me. And that was certainly true back then, right? In a more unrefined way. But that paid dividends to recognizing that and starting to take that in and starting to lean in and believe the fact that I'm funny. And when I'm myself and when I start believing that and wrapping my arms around that fact, I can continue to give more of that gift to other people, right? And making people laugh and making people not take life so seriously. So what's it for you, right? What was something back then, back in your late teens, early 20s, maybe mid 20s, someone said something to you, right? Like you did something new, like you had some successes and people said, man, you're really good at this. What is that thing? Write it down. Write it down. Right? We're trying to build your list of clues to identifying your unfair advantage. And now here's part 2 of this live today. When I say unfair advantage, what that naturally is going to lead to is ultimately you asking yourself, okay, so I've identified these things, and now what do I do with it? Like, okay, so now I'm more clear on what I'm amazing at, like my unique gifts, like the talents that God's given me to use, to help people, to serve. Like, so now what do I do? We're all looking for our purpose in life. We all want to figure out and have clarity around what's my purpose. Because if you're just in a job and you're just working for the weekend and you're just kind of in the rat race, right? You're doing the same thing all the time. You're likely not thinking much about your purpose. You probably don't think you're living in your purpose. But isn't that what you want? Don't you want to know, feel, believe, and act in congruence and certainty with a purpose that you have identified for your life? And it doesn't have to be a purpose for the rest of your life. Like, that's so much pressure. But what's the purpose of your life in this season that you're in right now? Or you've just wrapped up a season, right? Like, there's a big transition that you're having. What's the purpose in this next season of your life? Here's a few questions that you can ask yourself to identify this. So the first question, and write these down, okay? Don't just passively listen. Come on, we've talked about this. Write this down. What do you love to do? What do you love to do? Right now, sometimes this is too big of a question. When I was working with my client this week, he's like, okay, that's too big. You gotta zero it in. I said, okay. What do you love to do? What do you love to do in the different areas of your life, right? What do you love to do when you're with your family, right? What do you love to do when you're at work? What aspect of your work do you love the most? Like, what do you love to do that you've got some opportunities to try before, but you don't get paid for that thing, but you love to do it? Right? What do you love to do that you couldn't imagine ever being paid for? Because it's, in your eyes, it's just fun. Like, you're just being your authentic self and you're not apologizing for it and you're having a blast. What is that? What is it? For me, man, for years, it doesn't happen quite as much because once you become a parent, you know why, but I love hosting parties. I love doing that. I love hosting parties. I love hosting people over at our home. I love opening up our house, having a house drink, having lots of people over. Like, the more people, the better. The buzz, like all the conversation, all the laughing, all the joking. That's one of my, if you could create just like one of the most awesome environments, that for me is one of the best. And it feels like a party when I'm going down to Los Angeles and I'm with my Ultra family. That also feels very similar. But I love hosting. I love creating those moments where people get to meet others that they wouldn't have met otherwise. And it strikes up these amazing friendships. Like, I love being the conduit for that type of meaning in other people's lives. What do you love to do? Maybe you love to cook. Maybe you love to write stories. Maybe you love to journal. Maybe you love to doodle. Maybe you're a painter. You love to paint. You love to draw. Like you're an insane artist. Maybe you like to teach, right? Maybe you like to do this. Maybe you like to share your experiences and you like to hear about what other people are going through, and you like to relate and connect and encourage them and offer them maybe a different idea. Maybe you love being a parent. Maybe you're preparing to be a parent. You're not even a parent yet. I see you, Grant. What's up, Grant Vader? What's up, Grant? Grant Vanderhayden's here on the call, baby. Maybe you're preparing to be a parent, okay? And you're excited about it. You're like, I'm gonna love this. What is it that you love to do? And maybe that's not hitting for you. Maybe you're like, what do I love to do? Like, Ross, like, dude, life like really sucks right now. And everything just feels hard and it feels like a struggle. And like, I'm not in that place. Okay. What do you do with so much ease? Like there's no friction. Like, what do you do with so much ease? And every time you do it, you'd be a fool if you didn't notice the benefit that it has on other people, right? For example, hosting a party, right? Like, yeah, that's something I'm good at. I'm good at hosting a party. I'm good at hosting a gathering. I'm good at making every single person feel seen, feel welcomed, feel appreciated, feel valued, feel loved. Every time someone walks into my house for a party, I make sure that they know that I see them. I bring them in, I give them a big hug, I thank them for coming, I offer them a drink, I connect them with other people. Like, man, and why do I do that? Because I want people to do that for me when I show up at their party, at their event, at their house, right? Sometimes what we're so good at doing is just remembering how other people are feeling. Maybe you're really good at sensing the way other people are feeling, and you are incredibly good at meeting that need, right? You can sense it before other people, and you're right there to meet the need, and you make their day. What is it? And then the next part of this question is, what's something you feel qualified to teach others? For example, my friend Grant's on this call. He teaches people how to become insanely great at tennis, right? He loved tennis. He went out, sought the mentors, sought the teachers, he got his unfair advantage by doing the things other people weren't willing to do and learning and training. And now he knows he's qualified to teach other people that. And he helps other people improve their tennis game, like become more confident, have more fun playing tennis. Because who doesn't have more fun doing anything when you know you're good? Like you're unusually awesome at this thing, right? Okay, the next question is, who do you do it for? Okay, so now that you've identified the things you love to do, the things that you're unusually great at, who do you do it for? Maybe you're like, oh, Ross, I don't do it for anybody. I do it for myself. Like, I don't know, I do it for my own, like emotional outlet or whatever. But this is really important because when you're trying to find your purpose in this season or the next season of your life, you got to make this connection. Who do you do it for? Or who could you do it for? And how would that work? How would that activity, how would that behavior connect you to other people? Okay, write down some thoughts. The third question for finding your purpose, figuring out what that is in this next season of life. Are there hurts from your past that you can turn into help for others? I freaking love this one. Ed Milet, Brendan Burchard. Man, Ed Milet talks about it all the time. He says, man, you are best equipped to help the person you used to be. What pain from your past could you turn into your purpose? Yeah. Write that down. Turn my pain into purpose. What's the pain and how could it turn into your purpose or into purpose? And write down, you're most qualified to help the person you used to be. For example, I recognized, years ago, right? Many years ago, I recognized, man, I started noticing, I think I'm equipped to help other people with ADHD who are in that deep, dark hole that I found myself in. And at the time, I desperately wanted to find someone like me. I wanted to find someone out there who I could link arms with and who could guide me and encourage me and inspire me and be like, hey, start here, do this next. Don't worry about this. You're better than that. Hey, keep your chin up. You know why? Because I see this in you. I see these things that no one else is telling you. But hello, can't you see this? I needed that person. And they really weren't out there. Like, they weren't out there. They weren't out there with my energy, with my spirit. Like, I wanted to find someone who was like me. Okay, the next question, in order to help you find your purpose, is what do others want or need from you? What do other people want or need from you? Think about it. Think about what other friends and family and people you're close with in your life, what do they ask you for? Right? What favors are they asking? Right? Now, when I worked at Apple, people would often ask me for a discount on their Apple product because they knew I could get a discount. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm not talking about like someone being like, dude, your lawnmower, bro, hook it up. Can I use that? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, what are those things those favors people have that have to do with your skill, your ability, right? Maybe people need you to listen because you're an amazing listener. Maybe others want you to help them work through like a challenge they're having because they know you have great ideas and you're always noticing the areas in their life that they could lean into or the new things they could try, right? Or maybe people need your like analytic mind. Maybe you're great at analyzing situations, right? Maybe people need your joy. Maybe people just like, maybe people ask to hang out with, like, do you ever think about why do people ever want to hang out with you? Why does someone go, hey, we should hang? Do you think they're just doing that out of pity? No, they're doing that because they want and need something from you. And they see something in you that they want around themselves in their life more. So there's a clue. Go to your friends. Go to people that you hang out with. Go to people that you've struck up friendships with and go, hey, what was it about me that made you want to lean in to us, to this relationship? Like, what was it? I'm trying to do some work on myself and figure out, what others really see in me, what others sometimes like need from me or what others like want from me. Could you help me out? So, such a good one. Okay, the next question is, how do others change as a result of what you do? Okay, so you might be like, oh man, I'm not here yet. I got to do some work on the previous questions first. That's fine. How do others change as a result of what you do? Because it's all about the transformation. It's all about the change. We all want change. Whether we want to make more money, whether we want to have more abundance, whether we want to have more free time, we want to have a bigger family, we want to find our spouse, we want to find that partner, we want to find our dream home, we want to find a town, we want to find a community, we want to find that hobby that we love, we want to do it with other people. Like, we all want change. Isn't that true? You want change. You want to go on a new vacation. You want to experience a new place, right? There's a reason that you want change. It's wired into us. Our brain wants us to stay safe. So we often don't change as intentionally or as quickly as maybe we would desire or hope, because our brain is constantly wanting us to just stay safe. Just don't rock the boat, because that could welcome in some risks that we don't want to take. We don't want to find out where that leads. But there's this other part of your soul of who you are as a human being, as someone created by the God of the universe. Change is happening, whether you are being intentional about it or not. Most people are changing, and they're just changing because of what life is throwing at them. And they're like a pinball, just like pinging around the pinball machine, and that's how they're changing. But what people want is they want to change based on their desires, goals, dreams, ambitions. And they want to know that new things they're doing, new habits, new behaviors, new learning is leading them towards the change they seek. So how do others change as a result of what you do? That's a really important thing to identify. Next question. This is the last one, by the way, to find your purpose. How do you want to be remembered after you die? I know, heavy question, I know. How do you want to be remembered after you die? What do you want your legacy to be? I know some of you just tuned out. You're like, I'm over this, man. Like, this guy's going too deep. But here's why this is important. If you don't begin with the end in mind, you've heard that before. I just heard someone talking about it yesterday on social. It's powerful. Whether you're preparing for a speech, presentation, like, begin with the end in mind. And if you begin with the end in mind and work backwards, you're going to end up a whole lot closer to what you actually desired to begin with. Happen chance like so. I did this when I was working with a coach years ago. My coach at the time said, I want you to do an exercise, Ross. I want you to write down all the things that you want people to say about you, your life, the way you lived, the way you made them feel, and your legacy at your funeral, at your memorial. What do you want people to say? Get really specific, get detailed, don't hold back, and give yourself enough time to do this exercise. So I did it. I still have that document. I still look at it periodically. And it's powerful. One, because it's a time capsule to a different season of my life. One, I can look at that and see ways that I've changed. I can see goals that I've met and soared past. I can also see things that I haven't made much progress on at all. Purpose. How do you want to be remembered after you die? Right? What do you want people to say about you, about your legacy, about your impact on them at your memorial someday? So there you go. That's what I got for you. Now, the last thing I want you to just recognize is take note that only 2 of the 6 questions I shared with you today are about you. 4 of them are about other people. Because happiness, joy, meaning that lasts is usually found in helping other people. Isn't that so true? I know a lot of you are going, word, amen, brother. All right. Hey, anyone have any questions? I'm done sharing what I wanted to share today, but feel free to drop a comment. If you got anything that you want me to directly answer or speak on, don't be shy. Come on, drop something in there. At least just say hello. At least just say, hey, here's what I appreciate about you, or hey, here's what I resonated with. Here's what I'd love to hear more about next time. Come on. I dare you. Drop a comment. And maybe you're watching the recording. Even still, drop a comment on this video. What are you looking for? What support do you need? Like, what insights are you trying to find around ADHD? How is your ADHD really just messing up your life right now? What are you learning about ADHD? What do you still want to learn and discover about an ADHD brain? Let me know. And I will bring you those things because I'm doing this for you. This isn't for me. This is me giving back, right? This is me wanting to inspire the change that you seek. This is me wanting to guide you, wanting to teach on something that I'm just a little bit further ahead. And so I want to bring you along. Like I want to help you speed up the journey, right? How awesome would it feel if you knew with certainty that you could actually shorten the amount of time that you are currently feeling lost, feeling isolated, alone, broken, feeling defective, feeling like, man, what's my next step? Like, where am I going? What's this all for? Like, I got no plan. I got no path I'm on. We can shorten that together. So reach out, right? Maybe it's just getting on a call with me, just scheduling a free strategy call. Go to my website link, schedule it. Come on, what have you got to lose? And listen, if nothing else, you're going to have fun. You're going to have fun on the call. Like, this energy, this spirit, it's the same when you get on a call with me, except it's all about you. It's all about you. It's less about me teaching, and it's more about me listening and understanding you, your life, your experience, your roadblocks, the things that are stopping you, the things that are standing in your way. And I can help you begin to figure out how to dismantle all the walls that you're facing right now. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Monica, Harmony, Grant, Darth, all you people, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. All right. I'll catch you all later. And TikTok, see you later. It's been real. Okay. Bye, y'all. See you next Monday.